Hello everyone, welcome to another Dragunov guide. In this video we're going to talk about patch 1.04 and we're going to talk about the adjustments that we need to make to our Dragunov's game plan. So let's jump immediately into the game and let's start by talking about running 2. Now as you already know, running 2 has been nerfed and now it's +4 on block instead of +6. Like I explained in my breakdown on patch 1.04, that might sound like not a big deal. It's +4, it's still +4. But that's a big deal because that leaves Dragunov with no power mids after running 2 that are uninterruptible. Back for free used to be your go-to power mid, but now that it trades with standing jabs and down jabs, anything that it's 10 frames. Also back 4-2-1, which was his counter string for down jabs, it's not uninterruptible anymore. And that is a big problem because it leaves you only with down forward 1. This is your uninterruptible option that is unfortunately also steppable. And you know how Dragunov suffers against people stepping him. As you can see, the down forward 1 is very linear and easy to step. And the problem is that even if you add the follow-up, your opponent can either he can still interrupt you with a down forward 2, or if he doesn't sidestep, he can still duck the second hit. You see, and kill you, because this is a natural combo, but only on counter hit. So you need to Twitch confirm this. Which is not easy. You have to look at the red spark there. It's not easy. It's not easy to do, and overall it leaves you with just worse options. And especially when the tracking on throws is gonna get nerfed. I don't know if this is official, but most likely. The tracking on throws is gonna get nerfed, and when that happens, yeah, you basically, like right now, you can stop them from stepping using throws. But when when tracking on throws is gonna get removed, yeah, it's a good luck. For now, you can still use throws, but when the tracking on throws is gonna get removed, the Dragunov is gonna slide down even more on the tier list, honestly. For now, you can still try to use throws to stop people from stepping you, but or you can use back 4-2-1. This is another thing that I noticed, is that back 4-3 and back 4-2-1, they still track a lot after running 2. They still have good tracking. So you could use this to prevent your opponent from stepping, at least. Your opponent will still be able to interrupt you, but at least he can step you if you do this. So really, if your opponent respects your frames, if your opponent doesn't try to challenge, you can still play Dragunov the old way. You know, running 2 and you try to get a throw, or if he tries to duck, back for free. But of course, if the opponent knows that this is now interruptible, yeah, it's gonna be harder to deal with that. Overall, more options for the opponent to deal with Dragunov's offense, even after landing a running 2, which is a very risky attack, considering it's very linear, very slow in startup. You can be interrupted very easily. Now for the opponent, it's going to be easier to shut down your offensive options. So you need to be more careful. But now let's talk about briefly about combo routes. There's not much to say about this. Some people, they try to find new combo routes, but the reality is that you have to stick with the classic staple combos. These are still the best options you have. This is still the best option you have, outside from this variation here, which is definitely more damaging, but it's also inconsistent. Like, for example, if you are a little bit off axis, I'll show you that it's not going to work. You see? So if you're even slightly off axis, this variation is gonna whiff. So you need to be careful when you're using this variation. It's definitely high damage, but it's prone to whiff. A good situation where you can use this variation here is after a heat dash. It is generally very consistent in this situation. You see? It is generally very consistent. So after a heat dash, that combo route is very consistent, and so the best option. Everything else is is still the same. CD2, you still follow up with down forward 3+4. Doing something like CD1 plus 2 only gives you like 1 point of damage more. Show you that after something like this, if I follow up with down forward 3+4, I get 40 damage. If I follow up with CD3+4, I get 41. So it's not really worth it. Just stick with down forward 3+4, which is the easier option. So yeah, overall the combo routes are still the same. You don't need to change them. They just deal less damage. It's just what it is. But then let's talk about the Hatchet Kick. Now, as you probably know, the Hatchet Kick has been nerfed significantly. Now is -31 on block, so it's more punishable than a Hell Sweep almost. But I think that this doesn't change the risk reward too much. I mean, if you were playing against a strong player, there was no way he was going to allow you to get away with this move. He was going to launch you. And now, you know, eating 80 damage or eating 100 damage is not like... It's not a big change. Like I said, it's not a huge deal. It's a huge deal, but it's not like a drastic change. It's like it doesn't... it's not like suddenly, oh no, now this move is like... it's too risky to throw out. It was risky even before. Eating 80 damage or eating 100 damage, it's not that different. So it doesn't change the risk. The risk is still there. And it was like this before. It definitely changed the reward on... although, don't get me wrong, it sucks. It sucks that now it staggers like that, considering how many busted lows there are in this game. But it is what it is. The problem is the reward. The reward is definitely way worse now. Because the movement's not only +3 instead of +7, but the biggest problem is the pushback. That just allows the opponent to just backdash. And there is nothing you can do. Right? Not even down forward 4. Not even down forward 4 works there. So it creates a situation that is very similar to when the opponent basically blocks a CD4. Basically, it turns into a mind game of am I going to follow up with a running 2 or not? And if the opponent backdashes a lot, you can just follow up with a running 2 and get in. But if the opponent does something else, you have to respond accordingly. Like if he likes to sidestep, you try to tag him with a 4-4-3. I don't know, if he tries to press buttons, you backdash and you kill him with a down for 2. But it creates a very similar situation where you just throw the down forward 3+4 and you look at what the opponent likes to do afterwards. And for example, if he likes to just backdash, you can try to apply a running 2. Like this. So yeah, it's like much less reward. You still have to gamble after hitting this move with that running 2. But that's the best option you have. And like I said, it's a very similar to CD4 on block. You CD4 and then you threaten with a running 2. And then lastly, we are gonna talk about briefly about down forward 3+4. I already talked about this in my patch 1.04 breakdown. This move, if it was already useless before 1.04, now is gonna be even more useless, considering it's now only deals 19 damage. And like I explained, the move is very slow. It doesn't have a lot of reach, as you can see here. Doesn't have a lot of reach. And when Dragunov whiffs this attack, he takes a huge step forward and basically begs the opponent to kill him. So the risk is just not worth it. Not in the neutral, but not even at the wall, honestly. Not even at the wall. Especially when you can do something like, for example, sidestep into a back 1+2, which realigns. You have no reason to throw out that down forward 3+4. It's just not worth it. Considering it's also -7 on block. Can you block this? It's also -7, so you lose all of your momentum when this gets blocked. So yeah, Dragunov really struggles with people stepping him, especially in the mid-range. Like from up close, you can try to apply throws, but in a poke war like this, yeah, it's not like you can use throws. You're gonna whiff. You have to apply stuff like this, but this is bad. And forward 3+4 is even worse than before. You can't use throws at this range. So yeah, it's not like throws are an answer for every situation. They can definitely help him in when he's up close, but definitely not in the mid range. Definitely not in a poke war. When the opponent can just backdash out of the range of a grab. But whatever, that's all I wanted to say. So thank you so much for watching and take care.